when I'm taking the classes.
Good morning, this is Leanne from Cherry Lane, and today Amy is going to be showing us all about Chameleon markers. So in a moment I'm just going to zoom in on just her hands and the markers.
Hi everybody.
Alright, and I'm turning.
Okay. So the markers are alcohol based, and they are double-ended. So you've got a super soft Japanese brush nib, which Leanne can focus in on. Show Barbara. That's what just yeah, I'm going to pretend she's not here.
Yeah, pretend I'm not here.
Yeah. So we've got the super soft brush nib, and if you're saying you just have yours at home, you haven't played with them yet, so they're going to have, this one's brand new as well, so it's going to have a bit of a squeak to it, and it helps you break it in, and it's supposed to, it'll
zooming
look
in.
A little, you hear it now, like you can hear the squeak on the other side. It's just a light coating, it helps protect it, and it kind of breaks it in, and then it'll look slightly splayed out. It's hard to see, especially with my eyes. So, so that's the brush nib, and it acts more like a paintbrush than it does than a marker nib, which, speaking of marker nibs, have that end. So this doesn't have the squeak to it, it just goes right away. So, and your brush nib will never be like hard or rubbery, it'll be like really soft, so you can blend the colors really well.
Is there two nibs to that marker?
Yes, the brush nib and the
I was clearly not paying attention.
bullet nib. Yes. Cameraman fell asleep. So
this is a very polished video, just for
yes,
everyone who watches this later.
So the inks are, as I said, alcohol inks. They are non-toxic, low odor. You still probably don't want to sniff them. So
they're non-toxic, as in we could lick them and we'd be okay? Or no?
Sure, you could lick your inks. Yeah. So, and I've just printed this on my printer at home. You want to use a matte coated cardstock or paper, and apparently it says something, you can also use an illustration board designed for inks. But basically what it does, it helps it. It's still going to bleed through a little bit. That's why you have scratch paper, so you can also, yes, you can.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, yes.
So where do you get this? Is this
like
like
at this place called Cherry Lane?
So what Amy's used is she's used the Ranger Specialty Stamping Paper, which is a really nice matte coated cardstock.
Yeah, so you can feel that it's super smooth, but it's not shiny. So you're not wanting to use the glossy paper. So, and
you can use glossy paper, but you'll have a totally different look.
Have a different look. So.
So we want to use this paper as opposed to, say, just like basil cardstock because
it will bleed through. Like it will still bleed down, but it won't. This won't prevent it from bleeding sideways. So
is this the same as glossy paper?
No, glossy paper you can still use with your alcohol marks, but it's going to be a really different look.
Okay. I've not played with it yet, so
so if you used regular like Basil Basics cardstock or like American Crafts cardstock, it's because it's not coated, and you're blending.
Suck it in.
It's going to suck right in, and it'll bleed out, and also because it's not coated, and you're going over it multiple times, you'll get some pilling and fuzzingness.
You can see it went through. Like I was.
There's my technical term.
Fuzzing, yes. But you can see I was kind of coloring out a fair bit here, so this did bleed through. Like I said, it won't likely bleed through much, but this is why you wouldn't ever, you can practice on like just regular copy paper, but it absolutely will bleed through. So I just suggest putting something down to protect it.
So what kind of ink did you use when you put it through your printer? Like what kind of printer?
So this was an inkjet printer.
And is there a reason for that?
Yes, because if you use toner, it just sits on the paper. It doesn't actually absorb in. I'm using the wrong word.
You kind of want to use two opposing kinds of inks, is that right? Like if you were stamping, you would use what kind of?
Yeah, if you were stamping, you'd want to stamp with like Memento ink. That's actually the one that they recommend.
Which is
it is a dye-based ink as opposed to, people kind of automatically think they want to use like StazOn or a solvent-based or...
Because you think it's going to be
or archival. You don't want to use those because it will cause it to bleed. So same thing going the other way. If you wanted to use like regular markers, whatever, you would stamp the stays on, so it would prevent the regular dye-based markers from bleeding. So.
So like you don't want to use stays on because it's like a solvent-based one, and you'd end up with a big smeary mess.
Yeah,
right.
It'll make your edges run. So I had to actually, because I wasn't entirely sure how my printer was going to work when I printed this, I touched some of them right off the bat, and they were still a little bit damp. So I kind of hit it really quickly with my heat gun, so it would be sort of set it. So.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the markers?
Yeah.
So, like they're like a tool.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely a tool.
They're not inexpensive to purchase in the beginning.
Yes.
It's like having a hammer in your tool belt.
Yeah, exactly. They're good quality.
Maybe not a hammer.
Yeah, not a hammer, exactly.
Bad analogy.
The original
tool.
They came out with the original, I would say about 2 years ago, with the original 20 pack, which is hiding. So, and then they've just come out with another 30 colors to fill in the tonal gaps from the first colors. And you can use them full strength. You can create shading and blending is actually a better word, not shading. Blending and transitions, like transition from one color to another, whatever. Lots of really great techniques. So I'm just gonna.
I have another question about the marker. And going with the tool part is that it is a bit of an. This is my.
Yes,
it's a bit of an investment to start with, but because they're alcohol based, they're completely refillable, right?
Yes.
The tips are replaceable.
Yeah, the nibs are replaceable, and as is this mixing chamber, which you can kind of see in there.
Zooming in for everyone who is not at the store today.
Yes. And the new pens, the new sets have this cap here, and it helps help make it even less likely to dry out. So when you want to close it, this is, by the way, not a lid. This is your lid, and that's your lid. So I have to remind myself, because when you get to the fusing point, you're going to actually basically kiss these. So I'm going to do that now. So this is the brush tip.
No. So Amy is charging this marker. So, Chameleons come in how many colors?
50 colors.
50 colors plus a...
Plus they've got the colorless blender and the black detail marker, which has 2 different sizes. I think it's 0.4 and 0.6. So.
Yeah, so the detail marker is going to work like if you want to doodle something and color it in, or just draw over something. It's the right kind of ink to use with your marker.
Yeah, you can illustrate with it, you can outline with it, or accent your stamps, whatever. So.
And it won't bleed.
No, yeah. So I'm just going to play a little bit on that.
So we did used to carry on, Amy. I'm just talking. We did used to carry Copic markers, which are lovely and beautiful, and there's like 300 and some odd colors, and they're a tool and investment in the same way that these ones are refillable, and all the nibs are replaceable. However, if you're like me, you must have every color, which is 350 something, and that's just not attainable.
There's that squeak.
So the Chameleons are really nice because there's 52 colors. However, each one does 5 to 7 shades. Oh, I should zoom in on what Amy's doing right now because she's showing you the gradation.
Yeah. So I'm just actually gonna get the squeak off. That's the noise you're hearing. Hopefully you're hearing that squeak.
So with one marker you can go from super light to the dark color that's shown on the cap. So you need one marker to do 5 to 7.
5 to 7, just depends on the shade that you want.
So one marker does a lot. So I actually sold all of my Copics and got Chameleons. Now, if you've got Copics already, then you're probably just going to carry on, which is fine.
Yeah. So you can see it's going super light because I actually fused it longer than I intended to.
Zooming in again. Sorry for the shaky camera.
How long will the pen last?
You could probably color 24/7 for a couple months. And as long as you're recapping, of course, leaving them open will dry them out.
See the gradation on there?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
So, and if I wanted to go back in, you can layer. If I want to cause it to be a little bit smoother. I'm very nervous, so you guys have to give me.
They can't see your face, Amy.
Yeah.
They can only see your hands
So.
and your voice and me talking.
I'm just blending a little bit. I always feel the need to go really fast, but you can
Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Are you blending two different colors right now?
No, it's just one
Oh,
color.
it's the one color still. Okay.
Yeah, still the one color.
That's
So I
what
just
it
went
appeared
back
to be.
over. Yeah. So I'm gonna put
My
that
camera's
back.
very shaky when it's zoomed in. Okay.
It's all good. What color should I?
She's not a professional video by any means. That's
We
okay.
are not winning any Emmys.
No awards here.
So I'm gonna actually just, I think I did this one already, I squeaked it off, so. Squeaked it off, that's a term.
Do you just squeak it off when it's brand new?
Just the brush nib, yes, because it has that.
So you won't have to do that again?
Yeah, no, you only do it once, and it basically, it's said here somewhere that it's basically to protect it, and.
It's like the factory seal kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, so.
It's like the wax coating on your apples that you should wash off?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm adding another color over top, and these two are blending.
Okay, I'm going to try and zoom in again.
So there's no transference of color.
No, you can do that as a technique, but it won't pull up the color from here. So.
So you can blend two different colors together kind of seamlessly?
Yes. Kind of seamlessly. I don't know how seamless that looks.
Well, this is just a practice.
Yeah.
So how long do you want to tone, charge? Can you show us the charging thing again?
Yep. The charging, or fusing chamber, mixing chambers, I think what they officially call it. Each pen comes with one, because if you only had one, then you would run out of this much faster. So if you end up toning from one pen to another, like use this on a different pen, it's not going to matter. What you don't want to do, you definitely always want to be charging in this direction, because gravity works, and that's actually how that works.
Like gravity do its thing.
Yeah. So it's not fusing now because I still have the cap on.
Yes. Chameleon has really awesome videos.
Yes.
Nicely polished ones.
Yes. So this is fusing. You want to do like this, not like this, because then you'll end up with a pen that looks like that. Or the mixing chamber has got color in it, because it basically gravity works. It'll drop the ink into the mixing chamber if you go this way. So again, I've gone like super long, like you generally only need to do like 5 to 10 seconds is really like the most you need to do, because it's pretty much clear now. So try to get some
So
color
the
in.
longer that you charge I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, charge the toner for, the lighter your beginning color is?
Yes. And people might be wondering, well, what if I want that lighter color to stay? Well, all you got to do is just recharge more often. So this is the patience is the first two part. So I'm just guessing. So, yeah.
Sometimes the charging feels like it takes a little while, but there is actually, Chameleon did a really good comparison video where they did multiple markers for coloring and just using Chameleons, and it took the same amount of time.
Because otherwise you're having to use like 2, 3, 4 pens, whatever, to get the...
And the constant switching and stuff. So
Yep.
you don't have to do that here.
Yeah, so keep my ends together. So
Can you tell us about the colorless blender?
colorless blender, again, has a...
So like what is
nib.
it?
It's just the plain alcohol ink without any color, and you can use it to
So
help
it's the
smooth out your blends a little bit. So, but what it technically does, at the moment you put ink of any sort on here, it basically moves the ink. That's exactly what it's doing. So
it's not really a blender; it's a pusher.
It's more of a pusher. Colorless mover, colorless pusher. I use it a lot for my mistakes if I've gotten outside the lines or whatever.
You can use it.
Yeah, you can use it to actually push the color. So you can basically, I'm kind of just aiming it towards it. I'm just barely touching the edge.
It's far easier to color inside of the lines if you've
Yes.
made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the reds are generally the ones that are the hardest to move. So you just kind of keep working it. Like all I'm trying to do, just as an example, is to move that little bit of the edge of the pink back in.
I've seen some really neat techniques you can do with your colorless blender.
Yeah,
as
there
well.
are some really great techniques where you can do your like blended color with, say, like a light blue or whatever, and then use the brush nib, bullet nib, to like run through it, and it'll leave looks like striations like on the jeans.
The blender and the detail pen, do they come?
Yes, they come in the deluxe pack, or they come separately if you've bought like some of the 5-packs. They come separately.
They're not in the original big pack?
They are in the original big pack. Yes, yes, and they've also in the new 50-pack as well. They've come again. Ultimate
They're actually
deluxe,
like a 52 pack.
52 pack. Yes, exactly. So
Yes. Yeah. Which I believe we have all the colors available.
yes, we do.
Rebecca's unboxing things
Rebecca
right
is
now.
actually
It's like Christmas here.
Is unboxing
like
it
every
right
day.
now. So, and there's no single right or wrong way to color. You saw me going back and forth just in straight lines. You can do it circular. It's just, you have to figure out what's good for you. I'm just gonna, this one's brand new because I haven't used them much. I'm just gonna squeak off.
So Amy's unsqueaking.
I'm de-squeakifying. Making up my own words too. So.
Oh, look at that over there.
What's over there?
That's the 52 pack. Comes with every single. Oh, look. Okay, 52 superset. Comes with all of them. So there's now 52 markers, and that should fill in all the tonal gradations that were sort of missing before. They had the original 22, and they figured they noticed some tonal gaps, so these fill them all in. Oh, and there's the original. No, this is the new 30s.
30.
Yeah. So if you've already purchased the 22-piece set before, this will as it says. Oh, there's my finger. Complete your collection.
Yes. And there's a case. This
There's
one comes in a case.
the 52 piece comes with the new case, which you can also get just the case separately if you've purchased the original set and then you've purchased the add-ons. All of it is available individually. So, thank you for Rebecca for showing us. I think we're going back to Amy now. Okay.
So I forgot what point I was going to make. Oh, I was talking about how you can color in sort of back and forth in lines, and you can kind of you don't have to like rush through it. I tend to rush through it, so I've got to learn patience. It's shocking. But you can also color in circles.
Do you get less lines if you color in circles?
Again, it's just a preference. I don't think it's so much less lines. So.
Like, does it blend better? Better?
Better, yes, it blends better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does seem to. So, and again,
I did find that with my Copic. So.
Yeah, if you're, it's great if you're
only
doing
anymore.
something this wide. if you're only doing something this wide or whatever. But if you've got a bigger space, for doing these, I'm gonna actually do.
I am curious about the bigger space. I've only really colored like smaller items, so I haven't had to worry about it.
Yeah, and you can use the bullet nib to blend in smaller areas. Like I wouldn't use it for this big space because it's like a lot of work. So I'm actually going to color something. Keep coming back to the orange.
Amy is coloring. 18 minutes in, and she is going to color.
Yeah, we may have to edit for.
Right now she's charging the toner for what? Like how many seconds is it?
That's like 5 seconds, and you can actually see
5 seconds. Oh, you can see the
how it's lighter at the tip. Yeah, basically it's diluting it essentially. So I'm actually going to really should have my glasses on. Yep, glasses.
That's okay. You know what? We can't really see up that close.
Yeah, I don't think this is the right ink. Or my printer is not the right one. So
okay, Amy's printer is not the right one.
Yeah. So
we will make it go.
Still pretty light.
That's pretty cool.
The black. Yeah.
So ignore the black. She used the wrong kind of ink. So lesson for everybody else: don't do that.
Yeah, this is the right color. I'm like, it's coming out really yellow.
Is it that same color that you've used for here?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe you charged it and then
I think I
charged it again.
a very long time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There was some talking.
Yeah. So I'm not being like super fussy about it. I'm not going to worry about that little bloop because I'm going to put a different color there. So I am going to start this one and let this go darker.
So where you do the shading, is that just artistic?
Yeah,
Decision?
it depends on, like, I'm not worrying too much about a color source or, sorry, a light source at this point. If I was doing something like an image of a person, like a girl or something like that, I might want to think, okay, my light source is coming from up here, so you would have all of your lighter spots here and the darker side here. If you need to, you can put something there to kind of remind you that's your light source. But this one here,
with an
I'm
image
just-
like this, you don't really need to worry
yeah,
about
I'm
that, do you?
basically just, you know, moving around. So
The Chameleon color cards, if you are interested in like light source and how to color an image, they're sorry, I'm not even showing this to you. The color cards come with an image, and do they come with a colored sample of each one?
yes, each one comes with a lovely
So it
sample.
comes with a sample, and so down in the bottom left, they've only used, what is that, two colors?
Two colors for the
Two
whole
colors for
image.
that lovely flower, and then so there's the one you're going to color there, and this is already printed on the correct kind of cardstock with the correct kind of ink to use with your Chameleon, so it's making it easy for you. So if you feel like you need practice, and this is perfect because is there instructions on the back too or no?
They give
Oh, look at that,
a shading guide,
shading guide, lovely.
and you can use any
Oh,
colors.
and showing you the light source
Yeah,
over
the
on the
light
left,
source,
how
yeah.
they've shaded that.
What's great about these is this is, you know, a big commitment. There's a lot of shading going on. These are great because you can just pop them in your purse. You can just grab those two pens if you decide, or, oh look, they've done the same one in different colors. No, it's not the same one. I'm a liar. A very similar one.
So you could use these just to color them and make them into cards or whatever you want to do with them, or you can just use them to build up your confidence to use with your stamps that you already have in your stash, because we know you have one.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
So the color cards come in, I don't know, 4 different varieties maybe, and there's there's some new ones that have, so these ones are just flat. The new ones have, we have on order some that come with, like, they're already pre-embossed, so if you have a hard time staying inside the lines, which we sometimes do, the lines are already raised for you.
Yeah, so
Those are the new ones that are on order, but not here.
I'm just picking a different color. Clearly not going to get through this whole thing today,
Back to Amy.
so I don't know if I've squeaked this pen or not.
Yeah, you don't have to color the whole image.
No. It's really good to have your scratch paper so you can kind of see where you want to go to. Like I'm just bringing it back to full strength here to get the squeak off, and just so I'm going to go about 3 or 4 seconds. That was drawn out. So also I'm left-handed, so I tend to smear my own work. Yeah, see, that wasn't very long at all, and it's quite light. So yeah, clearly didn't have the right ink from my printer. But,
You must have a toner printer.
I don't know. I got it to print. That's what was the important thing.
That is the important part.
Yeah, it feels like that's not the right color.
Where did you get this image from? Was it from...
This is directly on the Chameleon website. You can actually, in their latest newsletter, send one out about the end of every month. Lots of really great images and videos. And this one actually, the image I got from the lady's blog. Her designer is Monica Curiata. It's got her blog link on there, and it actually gives me full instructions if I wanted to do this whole thing, how long I'm going to fuse each pen and move and whatnot. So.
Did she have a video to go along with
Yes,
it? Yeah?
she had a video, and it's like hyperspeed, so no sound. Just.
So you could do that just because you wanted to color this image, or to build up your confidence to,
Yes.
like, practice.
Absolutely. So make it a little darker here. So. I think part of it is that when I watch the videos, they're really fast, so I feel like I need to color fast.
Pause is a lovely tool.
Yes, it is. So I can see, I'm just gonna, that I've gone outside the line a little bit. Just gonna
Maybe
Chameleon has
get the word out.
really great resources on their website. Tons and tons of videos. Like if you've got faces to color or hair to color, they have videos to walk you through that.
And their newsletter is actually really great. It's all interactive. You click on one thing and it'll open it up, and you can, if you have a question like, does this work on glitter cardstock? Or
What is the answer to that question?
it totally does, because it will color the,
That's because it's alcohol based?
yes, because it's alcohol based. You can use them also on like brads and stuff to change the color of them. So
Pearls?
pearls,
Ribbon?
ribbon, yep, you can run you can
Oh.
do your ribbon, yeah. So this isn't lovely and beautiful because we haven't figured out this, but these were both colored with the Chameleon markers, sorted out as just a clear hat pin. Excuse me. And this one, basically, I just took the brush nib or whatever and just colored it, let it dry for a couple, minute or whatever, and then I went back in, added another layer, and this one again is another one. This color here is also on this little
Is that a button?
button.
Pearlized button.
Yeah, a little pearlized button. This one's a wood button, so of course you're going to see some of the grain on the button. I did this at least twice. I did these quite a few months ago, so I don't remember. These ones here, it all sorted out. I had a customer come in and she was looking for brown brads, which we happen to be out of at the moment, sold out of, so I gave her a couple options. I had grabbed just this plain shiny copper one or brass one or whatever, and then we did this one, so you can see it's brass underneath. So
Barbara.
yeah, so it has still the shine underneath, because that's what it was. This one's just a plain white one, and then so it has a different look. It's definitely a flatter look.
Yeah.
This one is even darker because the underneath color was like a pomegranate or something like that.
So you can change the color of your
Yes.
accessories.
So like your pearls that you've stuck down or whatever, we could actually do your shirt.
we could color on
Barbara's
Barbara's shirt.
She's got some bling on her shirt, so it opens up if you don't have like the exact color of pearls that you're looking for. If you want to change something a little bit, you can do that. So that's just a little. This actually looks way better in person, but it's not too bad here. So
Totally got you off track. Sorry.
yeah, I don't know where I was actually going. So
Do you have questions, Barbara?
No, it's good.
do you feel like I've actually?
Yeah.
I know I haven't done much. I'm like
You've
I said.
answered a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I was scared to use them.
Yeah, and again, I'm just gonna pick another one.
You can't do it wrong. So if you can print something off on your computer or even just stamp something that you have, just tell yourself it's a test one. This one doesn't have to be good.
And the fact that they have these cards.
This is
that
awesome.
Show the shading guide.
Yes.
It's perfect.
So that's the color cards, but there's a brand new start at the beginning. Lori's Art Garden. This is put out by Chameleon. So it's Lori Gardner Woods has designed I think she designed everything in here. So it's a poster coloring book. So you can go on their website and print things off, or Chameleon has done this book, and they're already printed for you. And so they're printed on with the right kind of paper, with the right kind of ink, nothing on the back because you are going to have some bleed through. And then the next page is blank so that you can do your test
scratch
colors
offs.
or whatever. It's purposely left blank for you. So it'll protect that and work like a buffer.
And they're also perforated, so you can actually take these out.
You can take that out and do something with it. So for each image, I believe there is a colored sample. Is that right? Where are we? Back to the beginning. Is that the first one that I looked at?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a colored sample, and they've shown you all the marker colors that they've used with that.
Yep.
I believe there's actually like more tutorials in here as well. I could be wrong. There's lots of images in here. And it's in a nice hardcover coiled book.
Yeah, coil bound, so you can fold it back and put it in your.
Yes.
Will fit in your purse if your purse is.
If your purse
not
is large
small.
enough.
So.
Yeah.
So really, really pretty images. So.
Yeah, this is a great book. I don't know how many images are in there, but you can see it's quite substantial. It's a good book.
And you can see here the shading, where they basically what they've done is they've gone like super light, and then they've gone in this direction, so from left to right, and then this one as well, and then they went from right to left here. So.
What are they showing us here? Chameleons, marker pens, colored pencils, and watercolors.
Yeah, so you can use other.
Oh, you can use different mediums in this book. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, and then they've shown a sample with each one colored specifically with chameleons, because this is a chameleon book. But you can use your other mediums. Okay, good.
Or you can mix and match.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you can add like pencil crayons or watercolor pencils on top of it.
Yeah, I colored something with my chameleons, and then I used to add a little bit more. I used my pencil crayons on top.
Yeah, just to add on another layer, and I think this is probably the same color. So
Amy is coloring.
again.
She's not sure what color she's using right now.
I am using the RD5, which is the burgundy.
Burgundy,
Really
okay.
pink. So
Gets rather shaky when I zoom in. That looks lovely. Is that the same one that you used on your scratch paper? I think
yeah.
maybe that long pinky one over there.
Yeah, it's this one here.
Oh, okay.
Yep, this one. So.
I don't know how it got over there. I swear it was here.
So yeah, like I said, definitely something you can do just sitting in front of the TV. I would suggest having good light if you can. So I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of gradation in my color here, but like I said, I tend to over fuse, like as in too long. So I'm trying to go, okay, it doesn't need to fuse for so long.
But if you do overfuse, you can just just do it on your scratch paper until it's the right starting color.
That's about where I want to be.
Like, you can't do it wrong.
Yeah, so picking something relatively, and it is a bit different with the coated paper. It's a bit slipperier, if that's a word, more slippery.
Which is good, because it's going to help your color go farther faster,
Yeah.
right?
I think we're all used to getting a little bit of resistance.
That is a lovely pink leaf that you've created.
Yeah, I created a pink leaf, yeah.
You don't find that in nature quite that color.
So I'm going to use this to, you don't want to do this all the time. I was going to try to fuse my colorless blender. That was brilliant. So, she's the right end.
So the colorless blender is refillable.
Yes,
Yes.
they're all refillable.
They're
and
all
they even
refillable.
have videos on their website how to actually change the nibs out. It's super easy, super quick. Doesn't take any time at all. So just blending the lines a little bit to get it out to the edge.
So the toner is the same toner, goes in absolutely every single marker,
So you can
and
see-
in the blender pen.
You can see there's a little bit of pink on the tip of this. Don't worry about that. Just kind of, it's going to stain it a little bit, but it's not, the color itself is not going to stay there. Like if I go over here, there's nothing, it's totally clear. So I pick a color I haven't used yet.
Becca says use green.
Okay. There is a green in here, isn't there? Oh, there was. There's no green in here, so. Okay, so I'm gonna, see, this one's backwards. So this is one of the original pens. It doesn't have that extra, that one doesn't either.
Nubby thing.
Yeah. Like this. That's what I'm looking for. So,
So the newer pens have
the
got
newer
that.
pens have this little piece that basically goes over cups, cradles, whatever you want to call it, the mixing chamber. So, and you can also see the difference between a pen that's been very well loved. It's quite a bit more feathered. Yes, exactly.
But these tips are
Splayed.
completely replaceable, and I think
Yeah.
they come in a pack of like 10 or 12 or
Yeah,
something
quite
like that.
often you buy a like a multi-pack, whatever, and there's like, I think when I got the 30 new colors, 5 out of 6 of my packs had a 5-pack or 10-pack or whatever it is.
So the one that Amy just showed you with the, well-loved end, that's our demo set for in the store. So yeah, those have been really well loved, really, really well loved, and
So-
not ever replaced the tip. So
Yeah, so, and we've had these for about
Over a year.
About a year and a half, for sure.
Yeah.
So, we'll see if we actually get some ink out of this. We have to, a lot of them need...
we may need to recharge the toner.
Yeah.
We found that's the first thing that runs out, is you need to just get a refill bottle
Yeah,
of toner.
so, I'm not sure.
So not really the
Oh, yeah,
color.
see. I'm just going to grab the toner off one of these. There we go.
Yeah, so if you do not have a toner refill, you can grab a toner off of like a different marker.
Again, just make
It's
sure,
the same
because
thing.
this is not vermilion, this is spring meadow. So that hopefully will work. Yeah, it's quite a bit lighter. So Yeah, the issue is my ink is, or from the image itself is bleeding into the,
For printering.
yeah, printer ink. So, clearly I don't have the right printer. I thought I did, but, so. And
And you have an
actually,
inkjet or a bubble jet.
She thought she did.
yeah. It's a new printer, I don't know. So I'm just using the bullet nib here, and I'm going basically full strength. I could tone it down if I want, but I feel like these would be probably still green with the pink leaves. So, and I can blend out a little bit here. So, and you can see it's getting darker. It's not like a super dark color.
So it really gradually gets darker.
Yeah. So, and I can go back this way a little bit. And I'm gonna fuse again. They all look the same when they're laying flat. It's like because the color is on either end. So I'm just gonna, because I've got a bit of a, not hard line, but not a very well blended line right there.
So if you go back to your lighter color, you can just
Yeah.
blend those together.
Yeah, so I can go back over it. Yeah, see, it's totally pulling the black in. So muddy green, we're calling this one. So, anybody else have any questions?
People that are not at the store today.
People in the store, anybody
Yeah,
have any
and
questions?
you know I'm not posting this live, so sorry. You can come into the store and we'll answer your questions.
It's good.
Questions?
No,
No?
no, it's good. Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go home and practice.
Good.
So,
Good. Remember to go to their website because they've got.
yeah, you can sign up
Fantastic
for
videos.
their newsletter. As I said, it comes out once a month, and you can, like, you'll just have lots of free time available because you will lose some time. But you can go back into the archives and get their past videos, and like I said, really, really great. You can print off, there's like almost every month there's some free images.
Okay.
So.
Does this comes with the
This-
full set?
This came in the original 22-pack deluxe set.
So it probably
basically-
doesn't come with like the 5-pack, but
No, you get
this,
a kind of a Cole's Notes
Yeah.
version.
this
of-
gives you just a ton of information.
Yeah.
I need to open my package up.
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
you do.
And you can see here, like I said, they talk about the amount of toning time. Pure color obviously is not at all. And it kind of looks like it's about 4 seconds to 34 seconds. Honestly, most of the time you need to just stay in this range here because it'll start out quite light, but this is kind of what you'll end up with.
Yeah,
So,
like this is like
yeah, and I show you the,
it's double-sided.
Flipping again.
Yes, you need to go open.
and
your
there's
markers.
some techniques here. I didn't even, this doesn't really lend itself well, this image here, but the color hopping's kind of fun. If you're doing like, their example here is like a bunch of little flower petals. You basically fuse your pen as much as you want, and you literally just color each one, and it gets darker as you're moving around, so you're getting those tones.
So instead of concentrating in one spot,
Right.
okay, so you're getting some depth.
Yeah, and here, like they're showing like these grapes here, they basically they used them full strength, so they didn't fuse at all or charge, and then they're going back over it, so it's giving it even more depth. So. So, and here was that one I was sort of talking about, like the fabric, where they've kind of gone a little darker around the edges, whatever, because obviously the seams are a little bit darker on jeans. But they basically, what they've done is they've used that bullet nib.
Oh, to like streak it.
Yeah,
sort
to
of.
streak, exactly. So they would have used.
So instead of attempting to do that with a full strength marker, which would be really hard.
Yeah. Again, this one, the texture one, is basically just fused. Where's my ends here?
So they've gone like light to dark on there and then sort of dotted it with the bubble
Yeah,
pen?
exactly. That's what they've done. So they lid.
A nice glare on there.
So yeah, it's just, yeah, just fused. Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna play here. Basically, you're kind of just dropping color, and it'll get darker and you're not really trying to.
Oh, okay. So instead of like doing a full line or coloring in circles, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I mean,
neat.
again,
Did they use the colorless blender then? To
yeah, they would have
smooth
used
it
the
out?
colorless blender to kind of
pick
smooth
up
it out.
the color.
Yeah. So again, I'm just sort of trying to replicate, and they've obviously, that is just using the one color. Like I said, I'm not trying to actually create anything here. So, and I didn't fuse very long. So you can see it's a little bit lighter in the center because that's kind of where I started. So again, I didn't really have a plan.
This is not a plan. This is a blob.
Yeah.
It's a lovely blob.
Lovely orange blob. So it's quite a bit lighter over here. sort of trying to replicate it. So, and like I said, it's gonna get darker as I'm going along. It's gonna get darker as I go along.
It will.
It's like children
She
and
toned.
animals.
She charged it.
I charged it too long. Like I said, I need to work on my charging. So right now it looks like 2 different colors. So we're gonna put the lid back on. Hand this to my lovely off-screen assistant, Rebecca. Yep. So, this one's really tight, which I think is good. So I'm literally just doing the same thing,
But now with the
Yeah.
colorless blender.
just the colorless blender, which again is picking up a little bit of color. That's fine.
because you can just wipe that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to smooth out the edge a little bit. So I'm sure I've probably created more questions than answered
well, I
them,
think-
but
I'll go home, try it. My questions, I'll come back.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Amy was able to take a class with, who was it?
it was Julia Benben, and the lovely Kathy Andronicu was also there. Kind of fangirled on her because she's really awesome.
So they're from Chameleon. So she took a great class with them.
Yep. So, like I said, there's lots of videos, there's lots of blogs that they suggest. Like, I don't know actually who this Monica Curiata is, but again, there's lots of different styles. Like, if you're more into like the manga art or the sort of the graphic design, where like there's a new set that's just like grays for like the graphic artist type stuff, or whatever. I saw one that looked like it was like a Ducati motorcycle, you know, and I thought it was like a pencil drawing, not pencil crayon, just a pencil drawing,
Like
just
graphite?
like graphite looking. I was just like jaw on the ground. So lots of videos, lots of fun stuff. I probably missed some stuff, but we'll fill in that later.
Yeah. Well, part 2.
Part 2 at some
Part 2
point,
eventually. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so I think that we're only at 42 minutes and we have a 1 hour long demo, but yeah, I think we're gonna leave that for our video for now. So there will be a new hour demo to be announced soon. We're going to do them at least once a month, so stay tuned on our website, which
thanks for watching.
is www.cherrylanescrapbook.com. And as Amy said, thanks for watching. See you later.